Good morning, it's MJ, and this is a general reading for the collective for November 4th using the Grimalkin Tarot. And I am glad to be back. I did miss a few days, hurt my back, and needed some time to just heal and have some downtime. So between that and the holiday, I thought taking a couple days would be beneficial both to my spirit and to my mind. So let's see what the cats bring to us today. We'll get right back into the groove of doing these readings. Okay, the first card I'm going to pull is the M card for motivation. I'm going to do a meow spread this morning. Because it's been so long since I've done a reading. I'm so sorry. I think it was Halloween, right? So, okay. The first card is what's getting us up out of bed in the morning. What's our driving force? And we start off with the moon. So perhaps there's something within our subconscious that is getting us moving. You know, this may also, this can be something good, but if your motivation is, say, a fear of lack, a fear of losing everything, or a fear of not having enough, you may be pushing yourself even harder today. You know, if you have a big presentation today, if your motivation isn't for the actual presentation, but more so what you're going to gain from it, that may change how you approach your situation. Or if you're in a relationship, if your motivation is that you're afraid of being alone, it may cause you to do something that doesn't really honor your spirit, you know, or doesn't show your self-respect. So think about that. You know, what's your motivation? Why are you doing what it is that you're doing? What's the reason behind it? You know, you may think it's because you love this person, but is it because you really are afraid of being alone? It may be that you really love your job, right? You really want to be successful. Or is it that you have a fear of perhaps not having as much money as you once had? So think about where your motivation is coming from today. That's what the moon brings to us. It's that time to go inward and to examine areas of our lives and our beliefs that drive us to act. You know, I know this wholeheartedly. You know, when the second I start to feel the least bit shaky about resources, oh my goodness, that's where I move into panic mode. And, you know, I start like, well, what can I do now? What should I do? Oh my God, is it time that I start building the resume? Is it time to, you know, like I might peruse like the want ads, you know, like the online, like I might go on to like Indeed or something like that and be like, so maybe this isn't for me. Maybe things are bad and for a reason. But really, the motivation behind that is a fear, right? So today is a day to examine your fears. Once you can acknowledge it, like, so for me, what I do is I go, oh, you know what this is? I know that this is my fear coming up. And I start making a list of all the wonderful things that I love about what I do, which is creating art and creating these videos and connecting with people. And I remove any financial issue out of that equation. It's just, what if I was independently wealthy? Would I still do this? And the answer is yes. Oh my goodness, yes, like wholeheartedly yes. So that's the motivation. If fear motivates you to move in the opposite direction from where your soul is moving, where your purpose is, you'll feel it. You'll feel that compass inside you sort of move in the wrong direction. So with M here, think about your motivation. Think about what's driving your action today. So E is external influences. This is someone or something that's coming to you. And they, you know, sometimes they can be helpful. They can be a good friend, or they may be somebody who's passing on their own fears to you and kind of fueling that fire, perhaps. You know, if you have a friend who's terrified of ever being alone, they've gone from one relationship to another, and you're just about to end one, they may be projecting onto you their fear, and maybe trying to get you to date somebody you don't really find compatible, or go back to somebody who wasn't so great to begin with. So let's see here. So here we have, but no, that does not seem to be the case here. Your external influence is the Ace of Cups, and this symbolizes somebody in your life who is very nurturing, and they're very connected with spirit, and they're going to help you, I think, see your situation from a place of divineness. You know, it's like they're going to help you excuse me, recognize the area of fear that you're working with, so that you can grow from it, so that you can learn how to perhaps tame that fear, tame that wild side, let it out when it needs to come out, so that you can address it. You don't want to keep it bottled up, you know, deep within, because that's when our worst gremlins come out, when we suppress our emotions so much. They will come out eventually, you know, and you won't be able to control it. So this person here, this Ace of Cups, they bring a very moderating energy to your day. They're going to help you release some of that fear, maybe talk you through some of the fear. They're going to help you see that you're connected to this world wholly. You know, it's not just that one relationship or your job or what you're fretting about right now. They're going to help you see that you fit into this world, and you're more connected to this world than you probably give yourself credit for. So let's see what the obstacle is. And the obstacle we have here, is a 10 of Wands. So, you know, it's like, you know what's within reach. You know what you can achieve. You know that the prize is out there for you. But you may be feeling as though it's a struggle, you know. And the call here with this 10 of Wands is that there is help. And I'll show you here. You can see this cat, he's hanging on to one of the wands, and he just knows that if he could just get up there, if he could just figure out a way, he'd be able to get that little bird. Not that we really want cats to eat birds, but this is more of a metaphor here. The bird is the prize. And the branches here are there to support this cat. However, he's so focused on the prize that he may not see that there's help around him. So the struggle becomes even more intense. So we have a little messenger here that's trying to get his attention and to show, look, if you step up here, you know, not that this little bird wants it to eat its friend, but it does want to help the cat. This is, again, just a metaphor. And so here, there is a struggle. There is this, you know, time where you may be feeling as though you're grasping at straws and nothing's coming your way, but there is help for you. And know that you will get there if you take advantage of the help that's around you. Use your creativity. See if there's another option, if there's another way to get to your goal. And so finally, we're going to end up with the W card, and this is the wisdom card that the cats bring back to you. And oops, whoop, you just flew out of this deck. Wowzers. Okay. And we have the Four of Pentacles. And so this speaks to lack, the Four of Pentacles. Let's see if I can get them all in here. So here we have this cat with the Four of Pentacles. And you can see he's holding on, or she's holding on to the 4 mice. And she's just like gripping as hard as she can so she can't move. And, you know, the crows are over here showing like, wow, look at all of the feast going on in the city. But here you are, you're trapped. You're trapped on, you know, in this hillside here, unable to move and explore the options that are right there behind you. There's so much more potential over here. There's a feast going on behind you, but you're too focused on preserving what you're holding on to. And so again, with this moon here starting us off, the motivation may be that you're so concerned with hanging on to something that you're not really allowing yourself to experience all the potential that's out there for you. You know, you may be missing an opportunity because you're so like focused on one thing, and that's what you have at this moment. You can't allow yourself to see what's possible, right? So just to wrap up here, we have the moon for the M, which is MEOW, or motivation, and that is your subconscious. So your motivation may come from a fear or a belief that's hidden deep in your subconscious. And the call this morning is for you to examine areas where you're working perhaps towards a goal that may not be in your best interest, but it's feeding a fear. You know, it's helping soothe a fear that you have. The Ace of Cups comes in, and this is an external influence, and it's going to be somebody who's going to help you see your situation, I think, a bit more clearly. They're going to be very open-hearted. They're going to allow you to talk. They're going to be it's that good friend that you have, you know, who is patient with you and kind and nurturing, and they're going to help you allow your wild mind some time to roam without being judgmental or critical. They're that friend who is very high on social intelligence, emotional intelligence, you know, the one that, you know, just knows when to just let you talk. So, you know, they're not critical. The Ace of Cups is like this wonderful creature here. You know, she's just, or he's somebody who just feels so connected to divine energy that they don't let their ego get in the way. They don't need to let their ego get in the way. They don't need to be the smartest person in the room, because they feel confident enough in themselves. You know, they know that they walk with the divine. And so here we have the Ten of Wands, and this is the obstacle. And the obstacle here is your ability to see a situation, not from just all the trouble that it's causing you, but see it in a way that is a game, perhaps. You know, the obstacle here is, how do you get to your goal? How do you see the path to get there? You know, so there is a solution. Are you creative enough right now? Are you resourceful enough to see other ways to get to your goal? And finally, we have the Four of Pentacles, and this is the Wisdom card, the W. And again, the path to overcoming this obstacle is going to come from, again, you're working from a space of fear here, and it's connected to something that you're afraid of losing. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and they are not really good for you, right? You may be trying to hold on to it despite the fact that there's something better out there. The goal is to be in a relationship that you feel nurtures your spirit, your soul, one that honors you. That should be the goal. I mean, nobody goes into a relationship hoping to be disrespected and treated like crap, right? So if you're not reaching this goal, the question may be here, are you hanging on to something that's less than because you're afraid of going it alone? So that's just one scenario. I mean, it could be a work thing where you're hanging on to a job for fear of moving on to something else, perhaps a passion project, because you're afraid of losing your insurance or something like that. So keep in mind, if you're operating from a space of lack, it may be preventing you from seeing solutions that will help you obtain a greater goal or something even better than what you have in mind right now. Listen to a close friend. They're going to be the one that will help you sort of move through this situation. Bye. Peace for now, and I'll check back with you tomorrow. Bye.